Christmas Day in the morning. And what was in those ships all three on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day? And what was in those ships all three on Christmas Day in the morning? Our Savior Christ and His Lady on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Our Savior Christ and His Lady on Christmas Day in the morning. And all the angels in heaven shall sing on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. And all the angels in heaven shall sing on Christmas Day in the morning. And all the souls on earth shall sing on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. And all the souls on earth shall sing on Christmas Day in the morning. Then let us all rejoice amain on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. And let us all rejoice amain on Christmas Day in the morning. And all the bells on earth shall ring on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. And all the bells on earth shall ring on Christmas Day in the morning.
Marley was dead to begin with. And there can be absolutely no doubt whatsoever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clerk, by the clergy, by the undertaker, by Ebenezer Scrooge himself had even signed it. And Scrooge's name was good upon the exchange for anything he set his hand to. Jacob Marley was dead as a doornail. Now this must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of the story we're about to relate. Did Ebenezer Scrooge know he was dead? Why, of course he did. How could it be otherwise? Why, Scrooge and Marley have been partners for goodness knows how long. Scrooge never even painted over Marley's name on the sign that hung above the warehouse door. Scrooge and Marley. That was the name of the firm, Scrooge and Marley. People who were new to the business sometimes called Scrooge Scrooge and sometimes Marley. But he answered to both. It was all the same to him. Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, that Scrooge. A squeezing, clutching, grasping, wrenching, covetous old sinner. Cold and hard as old flint. External temperatures had little effect on Scrooge. No warmth could warm him, nor wintry weather chill him. And no one ever stopped Scrooge on the street to say with gladsome looks, "My dear Scrooge, how are you? When will you come to see me?" No beggar ever implored him to bestow a trifle. No child ever asked him what it was o'clock. And no man or woman, not once in all of Scrooge's life, ever asked him the way to such and such a place. But what did Scrooge care? It was rather what he liked, to edge his way along the crowded paths of life, daring all human sympathy to keep its distance. Well, once upon a time, of all the good days of the year, on Christmas Eve, Ebenezer Scrooge sat working in the counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather, foggy with rain. The fog poured in every chink and keyhole. Scrooge worked in an open room so he could keep an eye on his clerk, who sat at his own dismal desk, copying letters. They had a small fire, a fire that was so small it appeared to be but a single coal. And the clerk couldn't replenish it, for Scrooge kept a coal bin in his safe.
Cratchit,
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
I predict it may become necessary for you to part my servants if you continue to find the need to waste my coal.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge. Sorry, Mr. Scrooge.
Wherefore the clerk donned his scarf and tried to warm himself about the candles, but not being a man of keen imagination, he failed.
Merry Christmas, Bob Cratch.
Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Ha! Humbug!
Christmas a humbug, Uncle. You don't mean that, surely.
I do. What's Merry Christmas to you? You're poor enough.
Well, come then. What right have you to be so dismal? You're rich enough.
Ha! Humbug!
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas! Out upon Merry Christmas! What's Christmas time to you but a time of paying bills without any money, another year older, and not one penny richer? If I could work my will, every idiot went around with Merry Christmas on his lips and be bald in his own pudding, with a sprig of holly through his heart.
Uncle.
Nephew, you keep your Christmas in your way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it. But you don't keep it.
Then let me leave it alone. Little good it's ever done you, little good it'll ever do you.
There are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited. Christmas among the rest of them. But I have always thought of Christmas time as a good time, when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely, and think of people below them as fellow passengers to the grave. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never brought a drop of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good, and it will do me good, and I say, God bless it. God bless Christmas.
Well said, sir.
One more sound out of you, Cratchit, and you'll be keeping your Christmas by finding a new situation. Well, you're quite the powerful speaker, sir. Wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
I'll see you in hell first.
Why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because I fell in love. Be on your way.
Nay, Uncle, you never came to see me before I married. Why give it a reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon, Fred.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing from you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry to find you so resolute. But I made my trial in homage to Christmas to keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Bob!
And a Happy New Year.
Hold on!
I tried to stop them, sir.
Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Well, Mr. Marley's been dead these 7 years. Actually, Mr. Marley passed away 7 years ago this very night.
But we have no doubt his liberality is well represented in his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, we find it more than usually desirable that we make some slight provision for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries, hundreds of thousands in want of common comforts, sir.
Although no prison?
Prisons? Oh, plenty of prisons, sir, plenty.
In the Union, workhouses are still in operation?
But of course they are, sir. I wish I could say they were not.
And the treadmill and the pole law are still in fine vigor?
Both very busy, sir.
Oh, from what you said, something had happened to stop them in their usual course. I'm glad to hear it.
A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and the means of warmth. We choose this time of all others, when want is keenly felt. What shall we put you down for?
You may put me down for nothing.
You wish to remain anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you asked me what I wish, gentlemen, that is my answer. I don't make merry at Christmas myself. Mr. Marley never did. And I cannot afford to help idle people be merry. I help those establishments we've mentioned. They cost enough. And if people are that bad off, let them go there.
But sir, many can't go there, and many would rather die than go there.
Well, if they'd rather die than go there, let them do it. Decrease the surplus population. Besides, it's none of my business.
But, sir, you can make it your business.
It's enough for a man to take care of his own business without messing with other people's business. My business occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
It's only a small...
Good afternoon.
Scrooge resumed his labours with a much higher opinion of himself, and in a far more facetious temper than was usual, even for him. Meanwhile, outside, the fog and the darkness thickened, so much so that the ancient tower of the church, whose gruff old bell peered slyly down at Scrooge out of a Gothic window in the wall, grew invisible. It struck its hours and quarters in the clouds, and at length the time of shutting up the counting house had arrived.
Watch it. It's time. Well, out with it. What are you standing there for?
Tomorrow is Christmas Day,
I know, and you want the whole day off, I suppose.
If it's quite convenient,
Well,
sir.
it's not convenient, and it's not hardly fair. If I would withhold half the crown from your wages, you think yourself ill-used. But you don't think me ill-used when I pay a whole day's wages for no work, now do you?
'Tis only once a year, sir.
Poor excuse to pick a man's pocket every 25th of December. Well, I suppose you must have it. But be here all earlier next morning.
Merry Christmas, sir.
People have nothing better to do than stand in the middle of the street. Stand aside! Stand aside! What are you? Stand aside!
The Lord sing praises on you within this place. And sing to love and brotherhood.
Scrooge took his melancholy dinner at his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the local newspapers, beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's books. Then he went home to bed. Scrooge lived in chambers that once belonged to his dead partner, Jacob Marley. It was a gloomy suite of rooms in a lowering pile of a building up a yard. A yard that this night was so dark that even Scrooge, who knew its every stone, was fain to grope about with his hands. Now, it should be noted, there was nothing particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was rather large. And it should be borne in mind that Scrooge had not bestowed a single thought on his 7 years deceased partner Jacob Marley since earlier that afternoon. Yet, when Scrooge put the key to the lock, he saw in that knocker, without it undergoing any process of change, not a knocker, but the face of Jacob.
Humbug!
Closing of the door resounded through the house like thunder. Up the stairs Scrooge went, not caring a button for the darkness. Darkness is cheap. Scrooge liked cheap. He went from room to room to be sure that all was right, for he had just enough recollection of that face in the knocker to desire to do so. Sleeping room, lumber room, sitting room, all was as it should be. Nobody under the sofa, nobody under the bed, nobody under the table, nobody in the closet. Feeling quite safe, he closed the door and locked himself in, which was not his usual custom. But feeling quite safe from surprise, and in his nightcap, slippers, and dressing gown, he sat before the fire to take his evening gruel.
Humbug, I don't believe it! Hello, what do you want of me? Much! Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Well, who was you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
You don't believe in me?
I
do you doubt your own senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight bit of stomach disorder makes it cheats. You might be a bit of undigested beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a bit of underdone potato. There's more of gravy than gravy in you, whatever you are. You see this toothpick?
I do,
You're not looking at it.
but I see it, notwithstanding.
All I need to do is swallow this and for the rest of my days be deluged by a bevy of goblins. Humbug, I tell you, humbug! Oh! Merciful heavens, dreadful apparition! Why do you come to me?
O man of worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
Oh, I do. I must, but why do spirits walk the earth and why do you trouble me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. I am doomed to wander the earth and witness what I cannot share, but might have shared on this earth and turned to happiness.
Okay, Jacob, you are fettered. Tell me why.
I wear the chains I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I made it of my own free will, and of my own free will, I wore it. Is its pattern strange to you? Or would you know the length and weight of the long, strong coil that you bear yourself? It was as long, as heavy, as these 7 Christmas Eves ago, Ebenezer. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Oh, Jacob Marley, speak some comfort to me, I pray.
I have none to give. It comes from other regions, Ebenezer, and is conveyed by other men, by other ministers to other men.
You travel fast?
On the wings of the wind.
I would think you could have covered a great deal of ground this past 7 years, Jacob.
Oh, captive, bound in double iron, not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one's life's opportunities misused. Yet, such was I. Oh, such was I!
But you were always such a good man of business, Jacob.
Business! Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Mercy, charity, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a small drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. And at this rolling time of year, I suffer most! Hear me. My time is nearly gone.
I will, Jacob. Oh, don't be hard on me. Don't be flowery, I pray.
I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate, Ebenezer. A chance and hope of procuring.
Well, you're always such a good friend to me, Jacob. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the hope and the chance that you mentioned?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow night when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I get them all at once and get it over with?
Expect the second upon the next night at the same hour. Expect the third upon the next night when the chimes of 12 cease to vibrate. Look to see me no more, but look for your own sake to remember what has passed between us.
It's that humbug.
Whether from the emotions he had undergone, the fatigues of the day, his glimpse into the invisible world, or his dull conversation with a ghost, or even the lateness of the hour, much in need of repose, Ebenezer Scrooge fell asleep on the instant.
It was after 2 when I went to bed. The clock is wrong. Must have got an icicle in the works. 1 o'clock. Why, it isn't possible I slipped clear through a whole day and into the next night. It isn't possible something's happened to the sun and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Molly's ghost. Oh, it was all a dream. Was it a dream or not? I think it's all a bunch of hooey. You're the spirit who's coming was foretold me?
I am.
Who are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
Oh, spirit the light, can you not put your cap upon it?
What? Would you so soon put out with worldly hands the light I give?
Well, I don't mean to offend, spirit, but what business have you got with me?
Your welfare.
I think it'd be much more conducive to my welfare to get a good night's rest.
Your reclamation then. Take heed. Rise and walk with me.
But I'm mortal and liable to fall.
Bear but to touch my hand and you shall be upheld.
I know this place. I was born here. I was a boy here.
Your lip is trembling. And what is that upon your cheek?
Oh, spirits, nothing. Lead me where you will.
Do you remember the way?
Oh, yes, I could walk it blindfolded.
Strange to have forgotten it for so many years.
Oh, look, all my friends. Tompkins and Wells, Massis and Hathaway. Yo, Hathaway!
These are the shadows of things that have been. They have no consciousness of us, though they do soon seem rather jovial.
Oh, jovial, yes. They're about to go on Christmas holiday. Merry Christmas, Manus! Merry...
Oh. The school is not quite deserted. I see a solitary child sitting there, neglected by his friends.
Oh, yes, Spirit, I know. My own forgotten self. Oh, look, I'm reading Ali Baba. A good old honest Ali Baba. Yes, Spirit, I know. One Christmas when this solitary child was left all alone, the books became his friends. Valentine and his brother Orson, Robinson Crusoe. Oh, I remember them all so well. I wish, but it's too late. It's much too late.
What is the matter?
Oh, nothing, Spirit. Only there was a young boy singing Christmas carols at my door this night. I should like to have given him something. That's all.
Let us see another Christmas.
Ebenezer?
Fan?
Dear brother. I've come to bring you home, dear brother. To bring you home.
Home? Home, little Fan?
Yes, home for good and all, forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be. That home was like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one dear night that I wasn't afraid to ask him once more if he might come home. And he said, yes, you should. And he sent me in a coach to bring you. You're to become a man and go into business and never come back here. But first we're to be together all Christmas long and have the merriest time in the world.
You are quite a woman, little Fan.
Come, Ebenezer. We must get your trunk of the things. The coach is waiting. Come, Ebenezer, come.
She was always a delicate creature,
Oh, 'tis too squared up. I'm not gainsaying.
She died, a young woman, and as I think, had children.
Oh, yes, one child.
True. Your nephew, Fred.
Yes.
Oh, there, Ebenezer, Richard.
Oh, it's Fezziwig. Bless my heart, is Fezziwig alive again? Oh, and Richard Wilkins. Bless me, there he is. He was very attached to me, was Richard. Oh, Richard, dear, dear Richard.
Go home, my boys. No more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve, Richard. Christmas, Ebenezer. Now, on with the shutters before you can say Bob's your uncle. Hello, lads. Hello, Richard. Cheer up, Ebenezer. It's food and fun for all. Richard, Ebenezer, I am most disappointed in you two. You did not have near enough fun this evening.
But, sir...
Tut, tut. Not another word. But, to ensure you'll have sufficient fun tomorrow, you must take this. Now off with you two. Good night, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas.
sir.
What a night! What a cold roast! The pies and the beer.
Oh, yeah. Surely there's not a good man in all of London as old Fezziwig.
And all England.
Oh, I dare say, in all the world. Bless old Fezziwig.
Fezziwig has spent but a few pounds of mortal money, 3 or 4 perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
Oh, it's not that, Spirit. It's that he has the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, pleasure or toil. Well, you might say that its power lies in words and things so slight and insignificant as to make it impossible to total and add them all up. What then? Why, the power, the happiness that he brings is great as if it cost a small fortune.
What is the matter?
Oh, nothing, sweetie.
Something, I think.
Oh, I should just like to say a word to my clerk, Bob Cratchit, just now. That's all.
My time is short.
It matters little, Ebenezer. Another idol has displaced me.
Belle, what idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the even-handed dealings of the world. There is nothing on it so hard as poverty.
You fear the world too much. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one, until the master passions gain and grow smooth.
What then? Even when I have grown so much wiser, what then? I have not changed towards you. Am I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so. You are changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Your own feeling tells you that you are not what you are now. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. How often and keenly have I thought of this? I will not say. It is enough that I have followed it and to release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words, no. Never.
In what then?
In a changed nature, in an altered spirit, in another atmosphere of life, another hope as its great end, in everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. Tell me, if our promise had never been between us, would you seek me out and try to win me now?
You think not?
I would gladly think otherwise if I could, heaven knows. When I have learned a truth like this, I
Belle! Belle!
Belle! Belle! Go after her, you fool! Oh, Spirit! Why do you delight in torturing me? Show me no more!
One shadow more.
Oh, no, Spirit, no, no more. I don't wish to see it. Oh. Belle!
And her family.
Such a graceful child, so full of promise. To think that she could have been my child in springtime in the haggard winter of my life.
Belle, darling.
My dear. Hello, Papa.
Oh, hello, my dearest one. Now, my little sweet, take your baby brother and off to bed.
Yes, Papa.
Belle, I ran into an old friend of yours today.
Oh, who was it?
Oh, guess.
How can I? Let me think. Was it Mr. Scrooge?
Oh, Mr. Scrooge it was. You know, I walked past his counting house and saw him sitting in it. The shutters were open and there was a candle lit. I could hardly scarce but see inside. His partner lies on the brink of death, I hear, and there he sat, all alone. All alone in the world, I'm afraid.
Alone in the world, my dear old Ebenezer.
Oh, Spirit, remove me. I cannot bear it. Take me back. Leave me. Haunt me no more.
Ebenezer Scrooge, I come for your reclamation. Would you so soon put out with worldly hands the light I give?
No more, Spirit, no more.
Come in and know me better, man. I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You have never seen the likes of me before? Never. Have you never gone forth with any of my other brothers? All in these latter years?
You have many brothers?
More than 1,800.
Certainly a tremendous family to provide for. I went forth last night on compulsion and learning a lesson that is working now, and you have aught to teach me. Let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
Scrooge and the Spirit found themselves standing on a busy city street on Christmas Day. The sky was gloomy and the streets were choked with a dingy mist of soot, as if all the chimneys in all of Great Britain had by one consent caught fire. And yet there was an air of cheerfulness abroad, and people were jovial and full of glee and calling out to one another. The poultry shops were still half open, and the fruiterers were radiant in their glory. It was a glorious scene, to be sure. There was the scent of teas and coffees and sticks of cinnamon and candied fruitcakes spotted with lumps of molten sugar. The people scurried about, so hopeful in the promise of the coming day.
Is there a particular flavor you sprinkle from your torch?
There is. My own.
Say here, watch where you're going.
Why don't you watch where you're going, you long-nosed weasel?
Weasel, is it? Why, you floppy-eared baboon.
There's Spirit there.
Mate, what are we doing arguing on this glorious Christmas morning?
You're right, my friend. 'Tis a shame to quarrel on this, of all days.
So it is, so it is.
God love you, friend. God love you.
And to you, sir.
And a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
We mended that well, didn't we, Spirit?
We. Come, Scrooge. We have much to do and see.
Mama, we've fetched the bacon. We've seen the goose. Yes, Mother. Such a wondrous goose, basking in St. Onion.
All right, my dear Cratchit children. Settle yourselves down and help me with this table. Wherever's your precious father and your brother Tiny Tim? Why, even Martha wasn't as late last Christmas Day by half an hour.
Here's Master, Mother. Oh, Master, there's such a goose at the bacon. Oh, we're such a goose, you say. A Merry Christmas, Ella dear. A Merry Christmas, Mother dear. And a Merry Christmas, Mother dear.
Oh, Merry Christmas, dear. Table. Why, dear, you've come so late.
We had a great deal of work to finish up last night. Had to clear away this morning, Mother.
Well, never mind. So long as you've come, sit ye down in front of the fire and have a warm. Oh, Lord bless ye.
No. There's Father. Coming. Hi, Martha. Hi. Yes, hi, Martha. Hello, Father. Hello, Father. Hello, Tim.
Hello, dear.
Hello, everyone. Why, where is Aunt Martha?
Oh, not coming.
Not coming. Not coming on Christmas Day.
Oh, Father. A Merry Christmas.
Hello, Martha, dear. Merry Christmas.
All right. Time to wash up. Ellen, Peter, you helped him.
But I don't need any help, Mother.
And how did our little Tim behave in church today?
As good as gold, and better. You know, he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much. He told me coming home, he hoped all the people in the church saw him, and saw that he was a cripple. Then it would be pleasant for them on Christmas to remember who it was who made the blind to see and the lame beggars to walk. Thoughtful boy.
Oh, well. Oh, never mind. Peter, Ellen, go to the door. I believe it's the bacon.
Such a bustle in sea. You'd have thought that goose to be the rarest of all birds. Why, Bob Cratchit said he never thought such a goose was ever cooked. Its size, its flavor, its tenderness, its cheapness were all things of universal admiration. Eked out with the applesauce and potatoes, it was a fine and sufficient meal for the entire family.
Let us be grateful for the food we are about to partake. Let us be thankful for this Christmas day and its meaning. This we pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Then their plates were filled, and soon their bellies the same. Then Mrs. Cratchit rose to go out and take up the Christmas pudding.
Suppose it should not be done enough. Suppose it should break in turning out. Suppose someone has gone over the back wall and stolen it.
Oh, but Mrs. Cratchit returned, smiling proudly with that Christmas pudding. And what a pudding it was. Why, everyone had something wonderful to say about it, but no one said and no one thought that it was a small pudding for such a large family. At last the dinner was done, and Bob Cratchit poured out the hot punch from the jug, while chestnuts on the fire sputtered and crackled noisily.
A toast. A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Spirit, tell me, will Tiny Tim live?
I see a vacant seat in this poor chimney corner, in a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these events remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
Oh, no, Spirit. Please tell me that he'll be spared.
If these events remain unaltered by the future, none of my kind shall find him here. What then? If he be like to die, he had better do it. and decrease the surplus population. Man, if man you being hot, forbear that wicked cant until you've discovered what the surplus is and where it is. We decide what man shall live, what man shall die. Oh, it may be in the sight of heaven that you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions, like this poor man's child.
Mr. Scrooge, I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of our feast.
The founder of our feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, it's Christmas Day.
Oh, it should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, when one drinks the health of such a stingy, odious, hard, and unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do.
My dear, the children.
All right. I'll drink his health for your sake and the day's, not his. A long life to him, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. She'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
It was getting darker now, and snowing pretty heavily. Scrooge and the Spirit walked along the streets as the brilliance of roaring fires from kitchens and parlors and such rooms. Oh, it was just truly wonderful. And if you judged by the number of people skirting around the streets on their way to friendly gatherings, well, you'd have thought there'd be no one at home to give them welcome when they arrived. Oh, blessings on it, how that ghost exulted. But then, no word, and no warning from the ghost, Scrooge found himself standing on a bleak, deserted road, with massive, crude stones strewn about as though it were the burial place of giants. They sped across the moor and out to sea, and looking back, to his horror, Scrooge saw the last of the land. Built upon a dismal reef of sunken rocks was a lighthouse, a league or more from the shore. And the men who watched the light had built a fire. Scrooge and the Spirit watched as the men stood around the fire, gathered hands, and wished one another a Merry Christmas. And they were off again, over the black and heaving waves, farther and farther out to sea, until they alighted upon a ship. And they stood beside the helmsman at the wheel, and they watched as every man on board hummed a Christmas tune, or spoke under his breath to a companion bygone Christmas memories. Then laughter lighted up the night, and in a flash Scrooge was spirited away by laughter to another place, to the home of his nephew Fred.
He said Christmas was a humbug as I live. He believed it too.
More shame for him, Fred.
Oh, he's a comical old fellow, that's the truth. And not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offences carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
Well, he is certainly very rich, Fred. Or at least you always tell me so.
Oh, what's of it, my dear? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't any good with it. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it. He hasn't the satisfaction of ever thinking he's going to benefit us.
Well, I have no patience with him.
I have. Very sorry for him. Couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers from his ill whims? Himself. He takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't come and dine with us. What's the consequence? Doesn't lose out on much of a dinner.
Indeed! I think he loses a very good dinner.
Oh, yes, it was wonderful, yes.
What do you say, Topper?
Oh, I'm just a wretched bachelor, a lowly outcast, and I've got no right to an opinion on that matter.
Oh, do continue, Fred. He never finishes what he begins to say. He is quite a ridiculous fellow.
I was going to say that the consequence of him taking a dislike to us and not making merry with us is, as I think, that he loses some pleasant moments, which could do him no harm. I mean to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not. He may rail at Christmas till he dies, but he can't help thinking better of it. I defy him. If he finds me going there year after year and saying, Uncle Scrooge, how are you? If it only puts him in the vein to give his poor clerk 50 pence, well, that's something. And I think I shook him yesterday.
That old goose?
Hey, speaking of goose, why don't we sing a song?
Yeah.
Maybe Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, God bless you.
Oh, I love that old tune.
Hey, maybe a game, Fred. Let's play a game.
What's it to be?
Come, Scrooge, we must go.
Oh, Spirit, they're going to play a game. How far more? Only one.
Your choice.
You all know the rules to yes and no?
And no.
All right, I'll start. I have something in mind. Who will begin?
Is it a vegetable?
No.
Is it a mineral?
No.
Oh, it's an animal. It has to be an animal. Yes.
Is it alive?
Yes.
Is it a nice animal?
No.
Does it live in a menagerie?
No.
Does it live in London?
Yes.
Is it killed at market?
No.
Is it a horse?
Is it a dog?
No.
Is it a cat?
No.
Is it a bear?
No, you're not close, not even close.
I have found it out. I know what it is, Fred.
What is it?
It is your Uncle Scrooge.
Why, yes, my love, you got it.
Wait, Fred, I object. When I said, is it a bear, you were obliged to answer yes.
He has given us plenty of merriment, I am sure. And it would be ungrateful not to drink to his health. I say, Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, whatever it is. He wouldn't take it from me, but may he have it nevertheless. Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Come, Scrooge, we must go.
Oh, Spirit, you're turning all gray and wrinkled. All Spirit's life so short.
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight at midnight. The time is near.
Oh, Spirit, I see something odd at the base of your robe.
Look, man, what do you see?
I see two children, a boy and a girl, wretched, frightened children. Oh, Spirit, are they yours?
They are man's. The boy is ignorant. The girl is want. Beware them both. But most of all, beware this boy. For on his brow I see written that which is doomed, unless this writing be erased. Deny it, slander them that tell the yea, and bide the end.
Have they no refuge, no recall?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Oh, no, Spirit, no!
The porter and the treadmill are in fine vigor.
No! No! Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come? You're about to show me shadows of things that have not yet happened, but will happen in the future. Is that not so? Oh, ghost of the future, I fear you more than any spectre I have yet seen, but as I know your purpose is to do me good, and I don't desire to be the man that I was. I'm prepared to bear your company and do it with a grateful call. But will you not speak to me? Lead on, spirit, lead on. Night is waning fast, and time is precious to me, I know. So lead on, spirit, lead on.
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Well, last night, I believe.
Why, what was the matter with him? Oh, I thought he'd never die.
Heaven knows.
What do you suppose he's done with all his money?
I haven't heard. All I know is he hasn't left it to me.
It's bound to be a very cheap funeral. For the life of me, I can't think of anybody to go with it. Say, suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
I don't mind going to lunches provided, but I must be fed.
Well, then I'm the least interested of all. I don't even eat lunch. But if you all go, I'll come along.
Well, let's off then.
Oh, spirit, I know these men. I know all of them. Strange, I don't see myself at my usual place in the exchange.
Joe! Joe, you about?
Oh, there you are. Listen, I've rung Mrs. Dilbin here, and the undertaker's man, and, well, we haven't all three met here without meaning it, have we?
You couldn't have picked a better place to meet. We're all equal to our calling, eh?
Yes, well, what odds and ends then, Mrs. Dilbin? Well, everyone has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
That's true indeed. No man more so.
Yes, well, don't be staring about as if you was afraid. Who's the wiser? We haven't come to pick holes in each other's pockets now, have we?
Indeed not.
Well, let's on with it then. Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
A true word was never spoken. It's a judgment on him.
Right. Well, who's first then?
I wish you were the Olivia.
Well, let's have a look. A pencil case. Some sleeve buttons. A seal. Oh, look at the brooch. Well, all right. Nothing of much value there. Let's see here. There you are. Not a penny more. Who's next?
Here, old Joe.
All right. Let's see. We've got some sheets and some pillowcases.
These fine linens, these is.
Indeed they are. Some nice shirts. Oh, look. Silver teaspoons. Very nice. And silver sugar tongs. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, I always gives too much to the ladies. It's going to be the death of me. There you are left. What? One more word out of you and I'll repent for being so liberal and I'll knock off half the crowd.
Here then, Joe. Here's my lot.
All right, let's have a look.
There.
Okay, what's this?
Bed curtains.
Bed curtains? His bed curtains?
Yes, well, who else?
You don't mean to say you took these down, rings and all, with him lying right there?
Yes, I did. And what of it?
Well, I dare say you were meant to make your fortune, and you're certainly going to do it.
Yes. Here, now mind them there blankets.
Blankets? His blankets?
Yes, who else? He's not likely to take cold without them now, is he?
But you don't suppose that he died of anything catching, do you?
Oh, never you mind. I wasn't so fond of him as I'd have loitered about for the likes of this if he had. Now, let's set settle up, Joe. What's my account?
Well, it's a fine account, my dear. A fine account indeed. Let's see here. Yes, there you are.
Oh, that's it then, isn't it? Frightened us all off when he was alive. Only to profit from him now that he's dead. The old skin flint. Such a tight-fisted old
Oh, Spirit, I see that the case of this unhappy man could very well be that of my own. My life tends that way now. Merciful heaven, is there no one in the town that feels the motion of this man's death? Show that person to me, I beseech you.
What's the news? Is it good or bad?
Bad.
Are we quite ruined?
No, there is hope yet, Caroline.
If even yet there is. Nothing is past hope if such a miracle has occurred.
He is past relenting. He is dead.
Dead? Dead, you say? Then to whom will our debts be transferred?
I don't know. But we will be ready with the money. And even if we weren't ready with the money, it'd be bad fortune indeed to find so merciless a creditor as his successor. We will sleep with light hearts tonight, Caroline. Come, let us check into the matter.
Oh, Spirit, show me some tenderness connected with death, or that dark passageway that we just left will be forever invited me.
And you set a child in the midst of them. What is it, Mother?
Nothing, dear. This close work hurts my eyes. 'Tis better now. I wouldn't show weak eyes to your father for the world when he comes home. It must be near his time.
Past it, rather. But I've known Father to walk a little slower in these last few evenings, Mother.
I've known him to walk with Tiny Tim very fast indeed upon his shoulders.
And so have I. And so have I.
But he was very light to carry, and your father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble. There's your father now. Robert, you're late again today. You went there again.
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. Would have done you good to see how green a place it was. But you'll see it often. I promised him we would walk there on a Sunday. My little child.
Oh, Robert. My Robert.
I'm sorry, dear. I saw Mr. Scrooge's nephew today. Such a pleasant gentleman. He could tell I was a little down and inquired about what distressed me, on which I told him. He said, "I'm heartily sorry for it, Mr. Cratchit." After that, he gave me his card. Said, "This is where I live. Pray, come see me." Now, it wasn't for the sake of what he might be able to do for us, but for his pleasant way. It was quite delightful. It was as though he'd known our Tiny Tim and felt with us.
I'm sure he's a good soul.
You'd be sure of it, my dear, if you saw and spoke with him. I shouldn't be at all surprised if you could find our Peter. That's a situation.
Only hear that, Peter.
Then, Peter, giving company with someone and setting up for himself. I'll get along with you, Ellen.
It's just as likely as not, one of these days. However, and whenever we part from one another, I am sure we shall none of us ever forget our Tiny Tim, shall we?
No, Father. No, never, Father.
And I know, my dears, when we recollect how patient and how mild he was, though he was a little child, we shall not quarrel easily one with another and forget our Tiny Tim in doing it.
Never, Father. No, never, Father.
No, Robert. We'll never, ever forget.
I'm so happy, so very happy.
Oh, Spirit, I feel that our parting is hand. I know it, but I know not how. Tell me about the dead man they spoke of at Old Joe's. Oh, Spirit, the before I draw near that stone at which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of things that will? Are these shadows of things that might be open? Men's courses foreshadow certain ends if persevered in they must lead. But if those courses are changed, then the ends will change also. Say it as thus with what you show me. Say it, I pray. Am I the man of whom they spoke? Oh, no, Spirit, no. I'm not the man that I was. I'm not the man that I would have been but for this intervention. Why show me all this if I'm past all hope? Oh, good Spirit, your nature pities me and intercedes for me. I will keep Christmas in my heart all the year long. I'll live in the past, in the present, and in the future. All three spirits will dwell within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, Spirit, assure me that I may sponge away the writing on this stone, that all these shadows may be erased. Oh, do not desert me, Spirit, I beseech you. Oh, Jacob, Christmas in heaven be praised for this. I say it on my knees, oh, Jacob, on my knees. Turkey still hanging there? Not the little prize turkey, but the really big one?
The one as big as me?
What marvelous boy, wonderful boy. Yes.
It's hanging there now.
It is? Go and buy it for me.
Oh, go on.
No, I'm in earnest. Go and bring the man back here that I might tell him where to deliver it. Bring him back and I'll give you a shilling. Be back in less than 5 minutes. I'll give you half a crown.
Half a crown?
Look at him run. Oh, I'll have it delivered to Bob Cratchit. They shan't know who sent it. Why, it's twice the size of Tiny Tim.
Well, where is he, boy?
He was just there.
Are you sure it was him?
Uh-huh.
Are we on the right street? This isn't some kind of prank, is it?
There you are, my good man. And how are you this fine day?
Oh, fine, sir, very fine.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you. Look at that bird. It could never have stood upon its legs and would have snapped them off in an instant. Here's for the turkey.
Oh, thank you, sir.
There's the address to deliver it. Ah, you never carried that all the way to Camden Town. You must have a hansom cab.
Thank you, sir, thank you.
As for you, my fine young fellow, did I say half a crown? Nay, for such an industrious young man, a full crown.
Cool, thank you, Governor. Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas to you too. And Merry Christmas to you too, my young man.
Merry Christmas, sir. Merry Christmas.
Oh. Good day to you, gentlemen. I hope that you succeeded in your purposes yesterday.
Why, Mr. Scrooge?
That's my name. I don't think you find it very pleasant. May I beg your pardon? Also, I would like to contribute.
Lord, bless me.
My dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
Oh, I'm not one farthing less. There's a good deal of back payments included in it, I assure you. Will you come by my office tomorrow?
Well, I don't know what to say to such a man.
You don't need to say anything. Just come to my office. Please, do me that favor.
But of course we will, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you 50 times over. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, sir. I don't know what Scrooge has been putting in his eggnog, but that's good stuff.
Scrooge was better than his word. Did it all. He became as good a friend, as good a master, as good a man as that good old city ever knew. Oh, some people laughed to see the alterations in him. His own heart laughed. That was quite enough for him. He made his way to the home of his nephew Fred, where he was received with surprise and affection. All was forgiven, and a standing dinner date for Christmas was made for years to come. In the afternoon, he pressed his way through the crowds, patting the heads of little children as he went, making his way to the humble home of his employee, Bob Cratchit. He stood outside and peered in the window and watched as the family gathered about the table, making ready to partake of the fine bird he'd sent them. And smiling happily, he knocked upon the door. Mr. Scrooge.
Bob Cratchit, I don't see you at the office this day.
I thought I was under the understanding that I had the day off.
You did.
I'm sorry, sir. It shall not be repeated.
I shall not stand for this sort of thing anymore. Therefore, I'm going to raise your salary, Bob Cratchit.
Are you quite well?
Oh, I've never been better, Bob Cratchit. I'm going to raise your salary, and I'm going to help your struggling family family. We'll discuss your affairs right after you finish your dinner this Christmas Day. And then tomorrow, I shall buy another coal scuttle before you build another fire and before you can trot another eye, Bob Cratchit.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
Won't you join us, Mr. Scrooge?
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you.
May I take your hat?
Yes, please. Thank you. Oh. Merry Christmas to you and yours, Bob Cratchit, and especially Merry Christmas to you, Tiny Tim.
Merry Christmas to you, sir, and God blesses everyone.
On behalf of the crew and the cast, the fine folks at Kerr's Playhouse and the city of Victor, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas and the happiest of New Years. Remember the reason for the season, and in the memorable words of Tiny Tim, God bless us everyone.